Today we are going to learn about some basic network related commands. These commands can be useful for Windows as well as Linux environments. So we will start with Windows environment. So first command is ipconfig. So ipconfig provides the basic networking related details of our system. It provides the IP address, gateway, subnet mask, MAC address, etc. for the system. So to use ipconfig, just type ipconfig in command mode and press enter. You can see there are multiple details: IP address, subnet mask, gateway, MAC address, etc. Okay, so next command is nslookup. So why we use nslookup? So nslookup provides the basic information regarding details of any domain. For example, if we want to know the IP of google.com, then we can use nslookup. Basically, this nslookup command is used for the troubleshooting related to DNS. So to use nslookup, we will just type nslookup with the required domain. In our case, we are using google.com. You can see it's providing us the IP details. One more advantage of nslookup is that it can also be used like a reverse. So now we are using nslookup with the domain and it's providing the IP. So if we use any specific IP with nslookup, then it will provide the related domain name associated with that IP. Next command is the basic generic command, which is ping. You might already have worked with ping. So ping is used to know whether any target is reachable from source or not. So to use ping command, we just type the command ping with the IP or domain. So in our case, we will be using google.com, and you can see that we are getting reply from the server, which means that google.com is reachable from my system. So now the next command is trace route. So trace route is used to provide all the details of the hops between source and target. So when we say source and target, which means source will be my system and target is the domain which we are trying to hit from my system. So to use trace route, we will type trace route, which is trace RT and the domain. So as I said that it provides the information of the hops between the source and targets. So when I say hops refers to the networking devices like routers, switches, whatever is being used for the whole networking configuration. So just type trace route and google.com and enter. Yes, now we can see that we are getting a response with a serial number, and when the responses are not coming, which means that there is some issue with that specific device. So this trace route command is basically used when we want to know that where our request is getting blocked. So in this way we can trace down the issues of the connectivity and we can find out the issues of any networking related devices. So you can see now it's coming. Trace is completed, which means It was successful. Now we'll go to our next command, which is netstat. So netstat is used to identify all the active connection of your network, which means that what ports and what connections are open from this system. So for example, if we have any connectivity with a database to this system, for example Oracle database, so you might know that the basic default port for Oracle database is 1521. So if we want to know whether that port is open from the system or not, then we can use this command. So to use netstat, we will type netstat and -a. So -a represent all the active connection from this system. So just press enter and you can see these are the details of address with the specific ports. So this netstat command is basically used to find out all the open connection from this system. So yep, these were like the basic 5 commands for Windows environment which we can use to do some basic troubleshooting related to network. Now when we talk about Linux environment, so out of these 5 commands, only 2 commands differs in Linux environment. First one is ipconfig. So in Linux environment it will be used as ifconfig and it will provide the same expected output whatever we got in Windows environment. And the other one would be trace root. So in Windows we used to type the command as trace rt, but in Linux it will be trace root. So there is only difference between 2 commands when we want to use in Linux environment. So to summarize, these were the basic 5 networking related commands, and you can use this command for basic troubleshooting from your end. So that's all for today. Keep learning, happy learning. Thank you.